Another black man killed by the cops. Are we starting to see a trend? Okay, everyone, welcome to Boss TV, and today is Tuesday, September the 1st. And as many of you may have already begun to hear, and if you're not, you're learning about it for the first time on my new channel here, is that another black man has been shot by the cops. And yes, that seems to be the favorite headline along the news articles. I wonder why. There aren't a whole lot of facts or video that is circulating right now regarding this case just yet, at least not of the details. There's very little video circulating of some of the events, but not all of it, and even fewer facts that have officially been put out. All we do know is that right now the suspect, believed to be Dijon Kizzie, was riding his bike in Los Angeles, and he gets pulled over by the police for some violation of sorts. I mean, it's communist California. It could be a litany of things from the laundry list of laws that they have over there. He gets stopped. Deputies approach him. He punches one of them in the face, drops an article of clothing he had on him, which reveals that there was a semi-automatic handgun in the clothing that's on the ground. He flees and eventually gets the police catch up and gets shot 20 times. I'm gonna withhold any major judgment because there aren't a whole lot of facts released in the case. All I can say though is 20 times does sound excessive. A little bit too much, especially if the only weapon he had was the handgun that was already on the ground prior to him fleeing and prior to him getting shot. So that's all I really have on that. My biggest concern is, especially here in the 21st century, where there is so much video evidence and footage of a lot of these instances where we are seeing suspects stopped by police. Police gives them a lawful order. And not only do they ignore the orders, say, screw it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. In a lot of these cases, they are resisting arrest, fighting back with the police, wrestling with them, punching them. Even after getting tased, they continue to fight and in many cases try to flee. And in almost all of those cases, they usually end badly for the suspect. So if seeing suspects do A and almost always get the result X, why do you keep doing A? That's my question. Why do you see a plethora of this when you see the results that happen? And you know my answer? Again, after watching the documentary Out of the Shadows, I strongly believe that there is a programming going on in this country, because you look at all of these cases, whether it be, George Floyd, Rayshard Brooks, Michael Brown, all of these cases of individuals fighting with the cops, even if they are in the wrong, after they get shot, and whether or not you die or even if you do survive, at the end of the day, you, the suspect, will be remembered favorably. You, the suspect, are looked at as a martyr for the cause if you do happen to die. And regardless of whether or not you survive or die, you're looked at as the victim. And as the victim, if you're a survivor, you can make so much more money than you could have ever made in your lifetime. Just look at Jacob Blake here and the GoFundMe page that his family started. And if you're unfortunate enough not to survive, at the very least, your family can try to sue and make money. And again, either way, you look at the bigger picture, because everyone wants that 15 minutes of fame, or like Achilles, want to be remembered because it would mean that your life mattered, you made a difference. And so even if you don't survive, and if you do care about your family, at least you know your family's taken care of and your name is in the record books now. We're seeing them portrayed as such. Take a look again. So I mentioned Michael Brown, for instance. The kid just robbed a convenience store minutes before his police, encounter, and not trying to hide, walks right in the middle of the road. Cops come up to him, not knowing that he's the suspect that they may have just heard on their radios about a robbery. Not aware of that. They just see a kid just literally walking in the middle of the street, not trying to cross the street, just walking up the street rather than the sidewalk. He mouths off at the cop, gets into a fight, and is unfortunately gone. Eric Gardner in New York fights off the cops who are trying to arrest him and, or at the very least, move him from the area that he shouldn't be at. The man's like 6'3" and a half, 6'4", 300 pounds. He's a big man, and just swatting these guys off, and they try to subdue him. You don't fight with the cops, but he did, again, remembered as a martyr. Jacob Blake was just committing, I guess you can say, domestic assault, because a woman called the cops on him. I believe it was his girlfriend at the time, or ex, called the cops because he was at her place where he shouldn't have been, whether or not he broke in or forced his way into her place, stole her keys. So cops were called on him, and incident breaks out. He fights with the cops and gets shot. Again, that's still all unfolding, but how did the media portray him? They portrayed him as a good father to his kids. That's the only video that you see. You don't see the man who has an open warrant for domestic abuse, sexual assault, assaulting a cop, assault with a deadly weapon charges. You don't hear all that. You just see the angelic side of him. You can only see the positive reinforcements being put through the media so much before you realize, hey, I should probably do this. This is probably a good idea, because I'm not going to be considered in the wrong. And if I survive, I've got a major payout and I'm a hero. If I don't survive, people will know my name. I'll be a celebrity, even if I'm not alive, but my family will reap the benefits because they can sue and make money beyond their wildest dream. That's the message I see being sent through the programming, through the television, through the media. And that's very dangerous in a world where there's the encouragement that you can do whatever you want and expect either zero consequences, because that's pretty much what they're expecting these cops to do, to play with kitty gloves, keep trying these tasers despite the fact that a lot of them are not working and put them lives at risk. So you can get away with whatever and either expect the cops not to do anything, or if they do respond with force, you're gonna come out of this smelling like roses. Whatever happened to the times where if you are pulled over by the cops, even if you feel as though it's unjust, if you feel as though you're just getting pulled over because of the color of your skin and or it's harassment, what happened to the time where you just comply, be polite, do whatever they say, and live to fight another day? If you feel like you're being harassed, get a badge number and file a complaint and or a lawsuit. If you are getting attacked like Rodney King, or hell, Tupac, as revolutionary as he was, even he was not crazy enough to fight back physically against the police for a jaywalk. Apparently he was jaywalking, police stop him, harass him, physically assault him. He did not fight. He took the beating, went to jail for the day or whatever, took pictures though, and was suing them for millions. He was looking at the bigger picture, but what happened to those days? So that's what those are just my thoughts. I see programming through the media, through the gaming systems, television programming that seems to be encouraging this behavior, because that's the only explanation I can think of us seeing incident after incident of suspects fighting back, resisting arrest, and seeing what the results are, and people still continue to do the same thing. So tell me what your thoughts are. Leave a comment in the comments page if you liked it. Hit the like button, and please subscribe if you want to hear and get notified of more of my content as I put it out. Thank you for giving me a space to put my thoughts out there, and y'all have a great day.